All right, so a lot of Democrats a lot of people in the Democratic Party are trying to figure out what happened, what could have been done differently, why did Kamala lose, and there's a lot of blame going around. A lot of people are trying to say if she would have went on Joe Rogan, she would have won. Uh, she didn't resonate with the middle class voters. That's why she didn't win. Um, she didn't have a message, and her messaging was off. You got Stephen A. Smith, Nancy Pelosi, a lot of these other people that got opinions. The problem is though, what people are not seeing, the reality is the real reality here is Joe Biden should have stayed in that race. The Democratic Party treated Joe Biden like crap. They treated Joe Biden like he was a criminal. They treated Joe Biden like he was Donald Trump. And they treated Donald Trump like he was Joe Biden. Now, if the Democrats would have treated Joe Biden the way that Joe Biden should have been treated, and Donald Trump the way he should have been treated, you would have had a different outcome. No doubt in my mind. Joe Biden was forced to get out the race by his own party. While the Republicans sat back, they sat back and watched it unfold. They sat back and let the Democrats do it to themselves. What better way to beat your enemy than to let them beat themselves? It's like, I don't know how many of y'all watch sports, football, basketball, whatever. But if you got a football team that keep on making penalties, they keep on making mistakes, they keep on throwing interceptions, they keep on fumbling the ball, no matter how hard of a game they might have played, but because of all of the other stuff that happened, they're not going to win. And when a quarterback loses a game in football, everybody want to blame the quarterback. But they don't want to blame the coach. They don't want to blame the team. They want to blame the quarterback. But when they win, oh, great quarterback, Hall of Famer. He need everything he deserve. But when they lose, oh, we lost because of the quarterback. You didn't lose because of the quarterback. You lost because the whole team is a team sport. And politics is a team. You don't turn your back on your starting players because they had one bad. He threw an interception, you took him out the game. He had a bad debate. Not even a bad debate. It was a great debate. When you really go back and watch it, read the transcript, he won the debate. He answered the questions. Donald Trump lied multiple times. He answered no questions. He gave you no substance. But the thing is, people gave Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt because that's Donald Trump. They don't expect much from Donald Trump. So if Donald Trump does okay, it's still better than Joe Biden doing great. Joe Biden had to be perfect. And if he wasn't perfect, then it's time to move on from him. And it wasn't the Republicans. As much as I want to blame somebody, myself I can't blame the Republicans. I blame the Democrats. The Democratic Party don't have a spine. The Democratic Party don't stand. Just because things are not looking good, you don't give up on your team. That's like when you in the NBA finals and it's 2 minutes left and you down by 9 points, you go sit down on the bench. You're going to go sit down on the bench, and what happens when you go sit down on the bench? And you the star player. You lose. Or what happens when the coach say, I'm going to just take him out? I'm going to take LeBron out, man. LeBron ain't got it no more. And then you lose, and everybody do what? It's LeBron's fault we lost. How was it LeBron's fault? LeBron was on the bench. Joe Biden was on the bench. Y'all benched him. So now y'all want to say, well, if he would have went on the bench faster, we would have won. No, man, no, listen. Y'all benched him. He sat on the bench. He took it like a man. As much as that man didn't want to get out, as much as he said that the only person that can get him out is God himself, Jesus Christ. This man said that he not going to get out unless God told him to. But because the Democratic Party bashed this man for 3 weeks straight, treated him like a villain for 3 weeks straight. 3 weeks straight. And then they put him out. Then he decided, you know what? For the greater good, I'm going to get out. Everybody saying I need to go. And everybody was, oh, he's a hero. Joe Biden was great. He did a lot of great things. America's gonna remember this. He did what was right for democracy. He did the right thing. Then you go call Nancy Pelosi, who retired. What is she doing? Why is she even here? Nancy Pelosi is retired. Go sit down somewhere. Why does anybody care about what she got to say at this point? That's like going to ask a retired quarterback how he feel. Nobody cares. He not in the game. He can talk bad all he want about the team, but he not in the game. We're not asking him for advice. Oh, well, what do you think we should do? You think that we should bench him? Who is he to talk about benching somebody? You retired. Go sit down somewhere. So everybody has something to say about Joe Biden. Joe Biden did what was right. It's what they said. You did what was right for democracy. You got out. But why they really mad? Why they pointing the finger at Joe Biden? They mad at Joe Biden. It's not because he got out. It's not because he stayed in too long. It's not because he ran for re-election. It's because he made Kamala his pick. Because they was trying to get Joe Biden and Kamala out. But Joe Biden did the right thing that day. He said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get out. I'm going to get out. I'm going to step out. I'm going to let y'all have it. But guess what? Y'all going with Kamala. Because that's my pick. Joe Biden knew in his heart. Joe Biden knew in his heart that he could win this election. They told Joe Biden in 2016 he didn't have what it take to beat Donald Trump. We went with Hillary. I like Hillary, by the way. But they told him that he couldn't win. They said, let's go with Hillary. America ain't ready for you, man. You ain't got what it take. Let's go with Hillary. So he sat back like an OG did. He sat back. Hillary got in the game. Hillary lost. The vet quarterback sat down for the rookie. No, we ain't gonna say the rookie, for the backup. He let the backup go in and he took the high road and he got out. He said, you know what, I'm gonna let the backup go in and I'm gonna represent for the team either way. We lost 2016. 2020, we put the starter back in. Joe Biden said, I can beat this guy. I've been telling y'all I can beat this guy. He's not that hard to beat. I know how to beat him. Put me in the game. So then the Democratic Party said, what we got to lose? Put him in the game. What do we got to lose? Joe Biden won. He didn't just win. He got the most votes by any other presidential candidate in history. 81 million people voted for Joe Biden. Joe Biden won the electoral map. He won the whole blue wall, and he won all of the states at every battleground state. And it got to the point to where he cheated. They couldn't even accept it. He beat them so bad, it wasn't even close. When they couldn't accept the results of the election. So for the last 4 years, everybody been saying they stole the election. They cheated us. All they do is cheat. You can't trust the voting process. You can't trust the system. The system is broken. They're going to try to steal this election too. They stole that election. They're going to steal this election. All they do is steal. All they do is steal. You can't trust the Democrats. They stole the election for Donald Trump. It wasn't a fair election. Fast forward 2024. Kamala lost. All of a sudden, it's a fair election. It wasn't no cheating. You ain't hear not one claim from MAGA. Not one claim after that night, after they say he won, that it was any cheating. You didn't hear no conspiracies about the ballots being missing and mail trucks that ran off with ballots. You ain't hear about none of that. It was a fair election, clean, fair election. Nobody questioned it. Not even the Democrats. Not even the Democrats are walking around saying they stole it from us. They cheated. We want to recount. We want to see the votes. We heard that it was tens of thousands of votes sitting in a semi truck somewhere. The Democrats didn't do that. And the Republicans didn't do that. So the reality is, when they win, it's fair. When they lose, they call foul play. But I'm gonna be making a lot more videos. Y'all get ready, because I got a lot to say, man. Like, it's just so much on my mind. But I can tell you right now, the reason why we lost the election is not because Latino men voted. Now y'all know I made a video that's saying Latino made us lose the election. I'm not gonna say they didn't. I'm not gonna say they didn't. I'm gonna take that back. They did make us lose. The black men made us lose. The white women made us lose. And all the other races that's not black made us lose. But the real reason why we lost, the main reason why we lost, is because of how y'all treated Joe Biden. It's because of what y'all did to Joe Biden. So stop pointing the finger at Joe Biden and realize Joe Biden was on the bench. You can't blame the man on the bench for the game. You can't blame the man on the bench for losing the Super Bowl. You can't do that. He wasn't in the game. That's like the guy from the bench, the starting quarterback sat down before the playoffs began. He been on the bench the whole time. So y'all gonna blame him while he's sitting on the bench? It's his fault. Y'all told him he needed to get out. Bring the freshman in. Bring the backup in, man. We done with him. We tired of him. Doing like y'all did to Deshaun Watson. We tired of him. He done. He cooked. Let's get the fresh energy. Let's get it while we got the momentum. Democrat Party had all the momentum. All of it. With the new guy. Everybody want to see that guy that they've been waiting on to come off that bench. We would have been winning if this guy was on the game. We would have been winning if he was in. Now he's in the game. Or she in this case. She's in the game. He's on the bench. You lost the Super Bowl. So somehow it's the backup fault that you lost the Super Bowl? Somehow it's the person on the bench fault that you lost? Nah. The players that was in the game, everybody else that was on the field, and they fault? It's the man on the bench, it's his fault? It's his fault from the bench, or is it the people that's in the game? The coaches, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, the Hakeem Jeffries, the Bernie Sanders, the everybody who got an opinion. It ain't their fault. It's the man that's on the bench fault. It's Joe Biden's fault. I've been hearing all these rumors about, well, why we lost, and Kamala should have did Joe Rogan. Kamala should have did more for black men. Kamala should have tried to tap in with Latinos. None of that was going to work. After the way they did Joe Biden, it was over. Game was already over. After Joe Biden got kicked out the game was over. It was nothing she could have did to win. It don't matter how much money she had. It don't matter how much support, how much momentum. She was never going to win. Why? Because I said it. She, black woman, black Indian woman, never going to win. Not when you got a racist, fascist, over there talking about take our country back, make America great again. Let's get back to work. Let's get this country back together. This country is garbage can. This country is trash. How was she going to win against that? The only way she could have won is if y'all voted. But as we see from the results, she got 14 million less votes than Joe Biden. Where were all of y'all at that sat outside and decided not to come to the game? We had an empty stadium. We had the momentum with an empty stadium. We lost. We lost. So stop the finger pointing. Stop listening to people that ain't got no power like Nancy Pelosi. Stop taking everybody's opinions. We lost. What you gonna do now? What does any quarterback do when they lose a game? They come back next season. They try to, on the off season, they figure out what they did wrong. You don't see all some of them pointing the finger. Well, if we would have went with Lamar Jackson, we would have won. Man, ain't nobody got time for no finger pointing, man. It don't matter. It's over. Lost. Why we lost? Because the way y'all did Joe Biden. I don't care what nobody tell you. Go look for yourself. Go look up the clips. The way y'all treated Joe Biden, the news, the Democratic Party, the media, the mainstream media, y'all tore this man down like he was a criminal. When in reality, Donald Trump was the criminal the whole time. Make it make sense.